Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Is that good? Welcome back to the show. Yo, listen up, we back in the game. Sweep the league, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get in every way. Rising the true and global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweep the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, mama, we did it, where we at? Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every rubber rock stats, we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday, it's the same different. They lying, we got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go.
Hey, it's Rain Fernandez, and you're watching Sweep the League. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Facebook at Rain Fernandez, Rayne Fernandez.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League TV. Follow me on Instagram at official Sherilyn for more content.
2, 1.
Well, as you guys can tell, Derek Gervin doesn't miss anything. If you don't want to miss anything as well, go to YouTube. Search at Sweep the League TV. Be a subscriber today. We're giving away a bunch of prizes and stuff. Be a subscriber today so you don't miss, just like Derek never misses. Subscribe to Sweep the League.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Sweep the league TV where legends collide. If the Cowboys fall short, we'll still ride the tide. Like Jordan in the clutch or Brady's last play. We bring the fire, keeping fans in the fray. Coach Gio and Rudy calling the shots. With Derek Gervin straight Hall of Fame thoughts. So hit that subscribe, don't sit on the bench. Get in the game, every highlight's intense. The live stream's on till your friends don't delay. Like Kobe in the fourth, we're here to play. Sweep the League TV, where greatness resides. From the bronze epic drives to Mahomes on the rise. We're all in on sports, NBA, CFB, and more for fans. By fans, it's the show you'll adore.
I just came from Minnesota, so I'm like, all right, welcome to the Tuesday night delight edition of Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr. Derek Gervin should be back tomorrow. He's out checking out some high school basketball games tonight, so he will be back hopefully tomorrow. So we're going to talk to him more about the Luka Doncic deals as well as De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio, something that Derek called. We've been saying it forever. He called it before the draft, before Stephon Castle was a Spur. Derek called De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio. As you saw, De'Aaron did land in San Antonio along with Jordan, the two newest members of your San Antonio Spurs. I'm going to be joined right now by Coach Gio himself. Again, Derek Gervin will be back for Sweep the League. Be sure to go to our website, or not a website, the YouTube site. Search Sweep the League TV. Hit that subscribe button. That way you are not left out on anything. This morning we had Chris Meyer, legendary broadcaster. Chris Meyer joins Shamaya Reed. Shamaya on the beats, part of I'm Refocused Radio and Sweep the League, for a quick 10-minute sit down with Chris Meyer. Be sure to check that out on our YouTube page. Again, search Sweep the League TV. Hit that subscribe button. Let's bring in Coach Gio right now. The coach is back, man. It feels good to have you back, man.
I'm back. Did you have a show last night?
No, he didn't. I was.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I
okay.
go
All
on
right.
Monday, so Mondays were off.
Because I was watching 90 Day Fiance's kind of a nice show I like to indulge in, and I was like, wait a minute, does Rudy have the show today? I was just randomly, but I was like, no, he's probably doing something.
Yeah, so Mondays were off. Someone tweeted out, I think we had a show. I said, no, Mondays were off for usually until May or June. We're off on Mondays. Every now and then we'll throw a Monday show in there, but not until the summer do we get back to 5 days a week. So yeah, we get the day off, man. And you get the weekend off as well. I don't get the weekend off. I still got to post stuff left and right. So you guys are lucky. Y'all get 3 days off. I get 0.
Well, you're the boss, Rudy. You're the one that's running the show here.
I know. JC Special Leaf him said he's in here saying yo. So we're not going to waste time. We're going to get into the De'Aaron Fox stuff. San Antonio. We talked about it. We had breaking news, and we went on. I believe it was Friday night or Saturday. One of the nights we went on. We talked about De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio for a little bit. We're going to go a little bit more into depth here now that it's kind of already hit everybody. Like not a ton of bricks. Everybody's been able to process everything. We'll get into that. Plus, we'll get some reaction from the Luka Doncic trade. I still hear people, Gio, saying that Dallas got screwed in that Luka deal. I still don't see it. So we've got Charles Barkley's reaction. We got Shaquille O'Neal's reaction. Plus, we have some reaction from Luka Doncic himself. And then also we'll get into the Spurs as well, asking the question of where do they land in the West? Now that they've got De'Aaron Fox, they may not make another move. Are there any other moves? There's one that's kind of going around. I don't know if you heard, but we'll mention it later. So we're going to go through all that stuff tonight. Then Thursday will be our Super Bowl show. We're going to be covering wall-to-wall Super Bowl, Kansas City versus Philadelphia on Thursday. Let's get into some reaction first from Luka. We'll talk about De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio here a little bit later into the show because we want to spend a good amount of time on that. But let's get some reaction right now from Luka Doncic himself. I'm being traded to the Dallas Mavericks.
I mean, everybody was surprised, so you can imagine how surprised I was. I was almost asleep, so when I got a call, I had to check it was April 1st. I didn't really believe it at first. It was a bit shock. It was hard moments for me. It was home. It was really hard moments for me, especially the first day. As I said, I get to play in the greatest club in the world, and I'm excited for this new journey.
What's your reaction been the last 48 hours to some of the comments coming from Dallas on your way out the door to join the Lakers?
I'm just excited, to be here, to start this new journey. And obviously, at some point I knew this was going to happen, but I would say I always take the high road. I had my amazing moments in Dallas with all my teammates, coaches, and the most importantly, the fans, they always supported me, and it was an amazing journey.
So there you heard a couple of comments from Luka Doncic, Gio, and then we're also going to get comments from Shaq and Barkley here in just a little bit. But seeing him in Los Angeles, obviously caught off guard. It was a really big surprise for Luka to be traded. They apparently didn't. Nico Harrison didn't talk to Luka basically about it. Kind of just made the deal. Hell, he even kind of not even screwed, but kind of took Danny Ainge for a little bit there because even Danny didn't know Luka was going to be traded to the Lakers. It was kind of like, hey, Danny, we need help on something. Can you help? Yeah, sure, no problem. But the initial reactions you're seeing is the surprise that every player is talking about on this deal. But if you caught one of Luka's comments, he said he kind of already felt that was going to happen. So was the writing on the wall in Dallas?
Well, I mean, they asked him to lose the way, do this, do that. Remember, Mark Cuban sold his stake, right, Rudy? So
yeah, he doesn't have any major whatever. He's not in it.
Mark was essentially giving Luka what he wanted, whatever he needed, as he should. This isn't the NFL. This is a really star-driven league, and you take care of your stars, whether it's right or wrong. It seemed like Dallas, Rudy, they could have gave him the super max in the offseason, just traded him, right? Like at least give him what he's quote unquote due, and you trade him. To me, Rudy, it felt a little vindictive to at least not give him the max, trade him, and let the Lakers take care. But Rudy, they could have also opened up the floor to get more trades in the offseason, Rudy. You can't tell me the Rockets with some of those young pieces would have shipped him out to get a Luka Doncic. Now, probably don't want to trade him in Texas, but really, it's possible he had an inkling simply because, hey, he was doing his own thing. He wasn't, I guess, quote unquote, being the modeled citizen in Dallas. But at the end of the day, the Mavericks did what was right for them. Really, I think short term, this works out better for Dallas, but I think long term, you get your superstar, you get your face of the franchise, and you get a guy that you can now build around. And it's possible Luka takes his body real seriously, Rudy. Maybe he starts to hang around LeBron and during the offseason, and because LeBron takes care of his body. Say what you want about LeBron, but he spends a lot of money, and I hope, Rudy, if Luka comes into camp next year and he's 225 and just imagine what that might look like in the future.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And, I stopped and thought about it, the vindictive part. I love the way you put it because, you could have paid the guy in the offseason, give him the max contract that he deserves, and then traded him away. Do you think Dallas panicked for some reason? The reason why I ask you that is because Dallas is on record. They've wanted Anthony Davis for a long time, a very long time. Now, in some instances, people say Dallas is going to be terrible, which I completely disagree. I honestly probably have Dallas. I'm going to go on record. I think they're the best team in the West. Oklahoma City, yeah, but Hardenstein injured, Chet's injured. Oklahoma City is having trouble keeping big men unless they can make a deal in the next couple of days. They're going to have trouble with the big men. But look at the front court of Dallas. Anthony Davis goes back to his natural position at 4. Derek Lively, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. That's a front court that is going to be very, very tough to guard. Kyrie on a pick and roll with Anthony Davis. Klay Thompson, he's got to be this more open since he was early days in Golden State.
Well, can those two guys stay healthy? The Kyrie,
exactly. Okay, yeah.
Davis. If those two guys are 100% or not 100%, because no one's 100% these days, if they go into a playoff series and they're the 4 or 5 seed, I could definitely see them making a run. But if Anthony goes back to the COVID year, they definitely got a shot. Because in the COVID year, really, he was absolutely phenomenal in the bubble. So if they could stay healthy, they never got a shot. They just went to the finals, Rudy, which is so mind-boggling. Luka was a 5-time, Rudy, All-NBA first team. He already has 5 of these. Yeah. He's probably going to make 5 or 6 more. To trade this guy in his prime, Rudy, I think, and the look on Jason Kidd's face, Rudy, he's petrified. He's upset. And the GM didn't even tell him. There's a bit of a disconnect. I'm not saying you have to run everything by your coach, but Rudy, it's a partnership, man. The coach and the GM,
you got to give a heads up. I get that. At least a heads up, man. There's disconnect. 100% I agree with you. There's disconnect. And yeah, a healthy AD and a healthy Kyrie, especially if AD goes back to that title run, Dallas is very scary. They are a very scary team. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't they add Caleb Martin today via trade from Philadelphia?
I believe so.
So you've got another shooter in Caleb Martin. So Dallas they're primed to win right now. And that's kind of where I'm going. I get the Luka part, but something had to have happened. And let's go to Charles Barkley real quick. This is what Charles tried to say on the Luka thing, basically Dallas knowing Luka.
Let me tell you something. The only people know Luka Doncic is the Dallas Mavericks. Guys who've been with him for years or who are around him every day. He's a great player. But all us talking heads, they know something. They must know something we don't know. Because, listen, he's been hurt. Everybody complains about his conditioning. But once you give a guy 5 years, $350 million, y'all are stuck together for life.
100% Charles Barkley right there, Gio.
No. Yeah.
That's the thing. Now, people say, well, Dallas didn't want to pay him the money. I totally understand that. If you're getting 5-time All-NBA, MVP candidate inside and out every single year, I get that. You just went to the finals. I see everything. But ownership feels that they're probably not going to win with just Luka and just Kyrie. I really felt that way. But there was something, like Charles said, there's something more that we're not seeing. I have no idea what it is.
Well, I think Luka would benefit maybe from a Phil Jackson, from a maybe Pat Riley if he obviously was still coaching.
Spoelstra?
Yes, when that could maybe in the future, whoever knows. But yeah, I think he would really benefit, Rudy, from a coach of that stature. Because listen, Michael Jordan was great, Rudy, right? I mean, he was phenomenal. But when he got Phil, and obviously Phil wasn't the greatest coach because Phil had a hell of an assistant in Tex, but the triangle offense, I think he needs someone that sort of a coaching style to really get him even to another level, even though he's been great. But Rudy, as we talked about, they know him. As Charles said, they know him. Something maybe we don't know. Time will tell in the next 5 years if this was a good trade. And I still think it's going to be fine. I think the Lakers got their guy. And LeBron, who knows? Possible he gets traded. I don't know. I've been hearing about the Warriors. The Warriors are trying, Rudy. They're trying to get something done. Well, that's getting Durant. Jimmy Butler wants to only go to Phoenix. It just Phoenix, which is kind of an odd type of thing to go. But if you keep Kevin there, you get him. They're gonna have to trade one of those three guys. It's just so shocking. I mean, it's probably the biggest trade, Rudy, from what I could ever remember, a superstar for a superstar. I mean,
you're probably, I think, shout out to Jeff Pearlman. He had mentioned that not since the Ralph Sampson Golden State trade, when they drafted Hakeem, Sampson and Hakeem didn't work. I think Sampson was traded to Golden State for, again, kids are going to be like, who and what, but Joe Barry Carroll, who was averaging like 15 and 8, I think, and he was the first pick. And Sleepy Floyd, I think he was averaging like 21 a game. So Eric Sleepy Floyd, Joe Barry Carroll for Ralph Sampson. That's probably the first time since the Luka deal that you saw a major player get dealt midway through the season, and almost like a superstar for superstar type thing. So it's kind of what it is.
From looking at the list, Rudy, there was apparently Chris Webber for Mitch Richmond, which is, I mean, not
big at the time,
not superstar status, but two very good players. And a few, remember the Chauncey Billups and Allen Iverson, but those guys were at the end, towards the end of their careers.
I mean, Chauncey, that's right.
I mean, the Steve Nash trade, remember when he goes to Phoenix? Who did the Suns when Dallas traded Nash? Do you even remember who came back in that trade?
Wasn't Tyson Chandler, was it?
Let me look up.
I would have to look that up. JC's in here. Yeah, look it up. JC says, blasphemous talk, Rudy. Spurs are the best in the West. The horoscopes don't match. Oh, I think Spurs fans are going to crucify me later on when we get into Spurs talk, because as much as De'Aaron Fox, we knew it was going to happen. I mean, you can still kind of ask around. It's a huge move for the Spurs, but how far does it jump them up? We're going to get into that, later on. But let's get some more reaction to the Luka Doncic trade. Then we're going to hit some Spurs talk right after that. Here's another another Barkley clip, and then we'll go into a Shaq clip.
I've been in the NBA for 40 years. Normally, when you trade a star, you get a bunch of junk back. This is the first time I can remember where you got two all-NBA players traded for each other. I mean, obviously, I don't remember every trade, but I'm trying to think. You guys got a great staff there behind the scenes. I don't remember the last time we traded probably never will you traded an all-NBA player for an all-NBA player. So that's probably, and the second thing is, normally when stars get traded, you hear a lot of rumblings, and you just put them up for the highest bidder. So I think those are the two first aspects of this trade that are shocking. Star for star, and normally, they didn't go for the highest bidder. They went for a quick deal, and it was over.
Obviously, Dallas didn't want to move forward with one of the greatest young players that we've seen today. I wish the business of basketball could have been handled a little better. You would think a guy that 5 years in the league, 5 first-team All-NBAs would at least get the conversation like, hey, things are not going well. This could possibly happen. But, there's a lot of speculation of can him and Bron play with each other? The answer is yes. Of course, they can play with each other. And it's going to be interesting. However, I think Dallas got better of the trade for the next 2 years anyway.
Totally agree with Shaq on that. Now, for me, Dallas got better. Like I said, I think they got really good. Top 2 in the West, I think, is if they're healthy. Now, quote me on the health part. If they're healthy and they stay healthy, at worst, top 3, but I have them at 1 or 2 right now.
Well, really, we've seen health, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see guys like Christian McCaffrey when he was with the Panthers, right? Really good for a bit. Last two years, what happens? He gets
He's
hurt.
on Madden cover. That's why.
Goes to San Francisco. Hot. What's happened really as of late? Back to being hurt. So a lot of these injuries could be a cycle type of thing. And we see Anthony Davis has been pretty good for the most part. But, man, to trade Luka in his prime, I wouldn't have done it, Rudy. I just wouldn't have done it. You find a way to get it done.
Well, now the last question we posed on the Laker Maverick deal is, let me paint you a picture. LeBron James without the ball doesn't break a sweat. He don't move. Luka without the ball, he don't break a sweat. He don't move. Can these two coexist? Because one's going to have the ball. The other one ain't going to move, man. So,
his usage rate, I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's among the tops in the league. So LeBron needs the ball in his hand.
So does Luka.
I just don't know, Rudy, what they're 5th in the West right now.
Why make the move? I don't care if it is for Luka Doncic. If you're getting a Luka Doncic, but keeping Anthony Davis, totally understand.
Why not do it in the offseason?
Well, yeah, you're 5th in the West, like you said.
You're 5th in the West. The chemistry. Now he's gone. But if I'm also Dallas, I don't know, Rudy. There could have been a better package. There had to have been a better package later on in the offseason. Rudy, how many teams would have thrown? Could you imagine? Luka's on the trading block?
Okay, that's a good point. But I'm going to reverse the question on you is you wait and you shop Luka around. You're going to get players like what? Miami throwing Jimmy Butler. I couldn't go for the Jimmy Butler in Dallas. I don't think it fits. You're going to get teams like the Wizards, Kuzma, whoever, but we're going to throw in draft picks. Does Dallas really need draft picks at this point? Probably not. Who else would you make that deal for?
I think
other than Anthony Davis.
I thought the Rockets, with their young players, Rudy, and their guys there, I get a feeling.
But they don't have a big man.
But Rudy, if your big man's hurt, if he gets hurt, then what was it all for?
I mean, it's a good conversation to have because you say the Rockets, so what do you get in return? Honestly, the Rockets wouldn't break it up for Luka, I don't think. Just to be real. You give him Fred VanVleet? That doesn't sound good at all.
No,
who else would you give up?
I'll give Sagoon.
So again, you leave Houston with no big man.
A younger, I'm talking about age and long-term success because Anthony Davis, how long does he have, Rudy? I just don't know.
Well, you say Sengun. If you're the Rockets and Mavericks, you trade Luka to Houston. Is Houston a better team without Sengun?
If they have Luka?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You think they're a better team with Luka?
Yes. Yeah.
So you think the year that Jalen Green's having, Amen Thompson's having, Josh Green or Jalen Green, it's whatever. Do you think they continue to have those kinds of years? You think the chemistry gets better with Luka on the Rockets?
Because I think now what's happening is Luka gets traded. Now it's gonna have to put a fire in his butt, Rudy. He's got to change. His weight apparently has been a problem, but though he is 6'7", Rudy, it's not like he's 5'11" and he weighs 270 pounds.
Well,
I
no.
do think Luka is that talented of a player where you can put him on the Rockets and he could be just as good and potentially maybe a different type of player with a coach, Rudy Wood, by the way, is a really respected coach in this league. Not to say Kidd was not, but you pair him up with that coach and those players there, Rudy, I think it works. But hey, I'm not a front office guy, Rudy. Clearly, they wanted Anthony Davis, and that's what they got, and we'll see.
I'm trying to wrap my head how outside of where would you trade Luka for a good package that makes sense for Dallas? I truly think the deal they got is, I mean, hell, it's a damn good deal for Luka. I really do, because I mean, you can trade him to Phoenix, maybe ask for Devin Booker back. I could see that working. Another shooter, someone, but don't you need a guy that is so okay? You send Luka to Toronto. Jakob Hurdle comes back in return. That makes life easier for Kyrie Irving. You got a great pick and roll guy. So you have a big that's great pick and roll, plays defense, clogs the lane when needs be, can open up the floor for Clay off that pick and roll. So that would be one guy. Bam Adebayo maybe would be another guy that you could trade Luka for.
How about somehow, some way, Luka ends up on OKC with the amount of picks and players they have, Rudy?
But then you're trading SGA.
Well,
possibly.
I wouldn't touch him, but
then again, you're going minimum Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, minimum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But again, you trade those guys. You put Luka on Oklahoma City. They're not that good anymore.
But I don't know, Rudy. I think if Luka really, if Luka puts in the time, takes care of his body, becomes a more of a, I guess you could say, a versatile player. He's already versatile, but imagine Rudy with his mindset changing and going to a Rocket team with a lot of young guys. I don't know. I think he can change his game, but he is who he is right now, and we'll see what the Lakers do. They got to surround him with talent, because as of right now, Rudy, they got some guys there, but Luka needs the ball in his hand, so that's obviously, a big part of it. He needs shooters around him. He needs a big guy. So time will tell. I mean, look, I'm just playing devil's advocate and just adding a bunch of random teams.
No, I get it. The deal wasn't a great deal, but the way AD's playing today, one of the best big men in the league right now. Maybe, he's behind Wemby, behind Joker, better than Embiid. I mean, let's be real. He's an all-star. So, I mean, he's playing better than any other big man in the league right now. I understand what you're saying. There could be a better deal. There should have been a better deal. The Laker trade is a message to the Spurs. They will come after Wemby when he first becomes available. That is what the trade is all about. We're going to get into that. That's crazy.
So, just the one that's out here. A potential trade for the Rockets. Thompson, Smith, Fred, and Cam, and 2 first-round picks for Luka. Would that have done?
Let me see. So who did you say?
So
Van Fleet, Amen Thompson, Cam Whitmore,
and 5 first-round picks.
5's too much. 5's way too much. Minimum 2. Minimum.
I'll say 3.
So then you're going with Jalen Green, Luka Doncic, Dylan Brooks, Şengün, and whoever, Reed Shepherd. I don't care. So
that's pretty good.
It doesn't keep them in the top 3 in the West. Not that team. Think about it. I mean, think about it. Van Fleet and Thompson are gone from the starting lineup. And you're like, okay, you keep Şengün, Dylan Brooks is kind of a throwaway right now. You know, he's good. His defense is great there. But you keep Jalen Green. But here's the part with Luka Doncic. We just said he's like LeBron James. He's got to have the ball in his hand all the time.
Yeah.
The offense slows down when Luka has the ball.
And that, to me, is something that he would need to improve. Now, obviously, he's not Reggie Miller, right? He's not coming off picks, and he's not Steph, and, you know, particularly that way. But, hey, you're an NBA player. You should be able to improve your game and change. Hey, Michael Jordan didn't always have a shot, Rudy, but he improved that shot, and he was a hell of a player. Last one. This is a Spurs one from CBS Sports, Rudy. Devin Vassell, Castle, Sohan, and 5 first-round picks. I don't know why CBS keeps saying 5 first-round picks, but okay, let's say 3 to 4 first-round picks.
So a Luka trade for the Spurs that would have made sense would have been Vassell, Keldon, or Sohan, both 2025 picks, Atlanta and their own, plus maybe that 2031 Minnesota pick. I think that would have been enough to get Doncic from Dallas.
So
but,
Fox, Doncic, and Wemby.
Well, no, because I mean, you're either going to get Fox or Doncic. You're not getting both. I don't think you can get both.
Well, under this trade, I mean, they got Fox for basically nothing.
Yeah, they did. They got him for nothing. And we're going to get into that here on the way back, but they got him for nothing. The thing is, I don't think but it goes back to what I just said. Luka dominates the ball so much that affects Wemby's game.
Yeah, it's the a super addition by a super subtraction, because now, you know, you still need a team to win a championship, right? Like you look at the Celtics, they have Tatum, but they also have all those other role players, and you need those guys in the playoffs, right? Like it's not always your stars, it's your Ray Allen, Rudy, right? It's the other guys that
John Paxson with the game-winning shot, Steve Kerr game-winning shot. You're right, Ray Allen game-winning shot.
Steven Jackson in 2003 against the Mavs, right? Like those big shots, you need those guys, and if the Spurs give all their money to 3 guys, then it's like, well, who's going to fit this other roster? So
Robert Horry. I mean, there's guys you definitely need. Shout out to Sith Lord Elias. Fox, Luka, and Wemby win a chip. You know, it's sexy on paper, but does it work?
I think it does, Rudy. I think it does.
I'm going to get so much feedback. It's not even crazy, but it's sexy on paper.
No, it is.
But like I said, if Luka doesn't have the ball in his hand, he ain't moving. The guy don't move. He don't even play defense, which again, if you have Wemby, who cares? Just play Ole defense, get to the basket. Wemby can, create havoc.
I mean, Rudy, just imagine going into a game as an opponent, seeing Luka, Fox, and you got this alien wizard guy in the post there. I mean, it would be phenomenal, but that is not happening. But I like what the Spurs did. They keep most of their players. They sent a bunch of other guys that I don't even care about. So, and it's funny, Rudy, Zach Collins is part of that trade. And I told you, Rudy, hey, throw Zach Collins in there.
Yeah, you did. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Everybody's joining. We got over 100 in the stream, so I know what they're waiting for. STL Music, SOTB Music just dropped, or it's about to drop, a De'Aaron Fox Wemby song. We're known for the Wemby song, and then we released Wemby the Future. Now we're releasing the De'Aaron Fox and Wemby collab. So that's why everybody's on the stream. Get ready right now. We're going to commercial break. But Gio, before we go to commercial break, I got to ask you a question. You're Luka. Everybody's Luka. Can I interest you in a king? What does that question mean? I'm going to let everybody know when we get back. Can I interest you and everybody else in a king for your San Antonio Spurs? When we get back here, it's Coach Gio. Derek Irvin will be back tomorrow.
Oh, Lord.
Rudy Campos Jr. will be right back. Hey, Fox and Wemby song teaser coming up now.
Time to react, yeah, shift like a skate. Left, right, lean, that's a bucket in sight. Pull up mid, let it fly, no hype. Fourth quarter ice, keep the rock in my grip. When the clock go red, don't slip, I rip. Fast as allowed, yeah, the drop 30 quick, now they begging for a switch. Fox in the open, the lane look free, now allow that up. Wimby, and running no team, keep pace. Fox got gears, Wemby got grace. Hoop too high, man, you won't touch. New Spurs every year, time to rush. Speed too real, yeah, check that type. Defenders froze, now they stuck in place. Who gon' step, man, don't play dumb. Fast break done, that's
You are watching Sweep the League TV. Make sure you subscribe and catch our new videos.
Sweep the League TV with Rudy Derrick and Coach Gia. Let's get back to the live show. You are watching the best in the business. Wimby breaks NBA record, man. He ain't done yet. This guy is from out of this world. He's gotta be an alien. What is going on? Oh my goodness, this guy is really gonna be special. Ain't nothing to it. Wimby still lit. Wimby still lit. Wimby still lit. We got dreams, hit the fast lane. Took the stairs, real pain, no fear. We steady making it clear. I'm the captain, nice to meet you, but I make chess moves, no snooze. Bless you, we turning the impossible to possible. Doing what we do, call me Wemby, alien, flow too quick. You can't see me, just saying. The only thing that is your season, come see me, trust me, we too.
So you turn off all the lights and shut the door. Hey, angel, what's your destination?
All right, welcome back to Sweep the League, and we just teased the Wemby and Fox song, the new collab there from SOTB Music and STL Music. Again, it will be available wherever music is available, Spotify, YouTube Music, everywhere. That's going to be the third Spurs drop that we've done here at STL Music and SOTB Music. So be sure to go. It's a Fox and Wemby song. Basically, we're going to get a better name for it. I know we got to get a better name for it, but for right now, it's Fox and Wemby. You can also go download the Wemby song and also Wemby the Future. And of course, like we mentioned, Fox and Wemby. Gio, I asked before the break here, I said, can I interest you in a king? And we talked. Luka's a Laker. LeBron's a Laker. Anthony Davis is not a Laker no more. LeBron's got 2 years. So why not use what you didn't give up for De'Aaron and go get a 2-year rental? Why not get a king, not from Sacramento, but from LA? They need a big man, obviously. You can't provide a big man, but you can work a 3-team deal out to maybe send a Jakob Poeltl, to maybe send a Miles Turner, somebody like that. He's already said he loves Greg Popovich. He loves Coach Pop. He's got 2 years, man, maybe. He wants to go out on top. You just went and got a Fox. You've got an alien. You've got a castle on your team. If you already have a castle, we need a king to be in the castle. So why not go get a LeBron James and spend what you were going to spend on De'Aaron Fox? How would a lineup of De'Aaron, Stephon, LeBron, Wemby, Harrison Barnes, does that shoot them to the top?
They got a shot. I mean, you definitely, their butts will be in the seats there in San Antonio. That's for sure. They've already obviously made their way now that Wemby's there. But already, I wouldn't mind it. Listen, LeBron is still a very good player. Now, if you want to say he shouldn't be the starting lineup for the All-Star game and all that other stuff, sure. And his son, all this, I get that, but he's still efficient player. I would not mind a potential trade. Spurs find a way to get LeBron James there. He's admired Pop over the years, so why not? I wouldn't have any issues. Chris Paul, we have him here for a rental.
You got his best friend, Chris Paul, one of his best friends.
Yeah, so why not? I could see this happening. And if the Spurs do another trade, Rudy, for another potential star, and this, I mean, anything's possible.
So the thing is, like we mentioned, you basically got Fox for nothing, like you said. You got Darren for basically nothing. You didn't give up any 2025 picks other than what's Chicago's 2025 pick and maybe Charlotte's 2025 pick, but they're both protected except the Chicago when they get it back. So it doesn't matter there. But you only gave up, I think, your 2027 pick as a Spur. You kept the Hawks 2027 pick. You have Dallas's 2030 pick that's unprotected. You can easily make the Keldon or Devin, appreciate it, but we're sending you out west. I mean, are the stars aligned a little bit? Like you said, one of his best friends here. You come here on a 2-year rental. Who doesn't want to play for Wemby? Who doesn't want to play for Pop now? Pop should be back, I think, after the rodeo road trip. So I'm just throwing it out there. And the reason why I throw it out there is because, I had a conversation with a buddy. Made sense. This guy knows a lot of stuff. I'll just say he's very smart about the game. He's even come out and said a little bit. He did it on his TikTok. Go follow him at Derek Irvin. Part of the show. Part of Sweep the League. He talked about it on his TikTok, on his YouTube page as well. So why not? I mean, call me crazy, but hell, we've called a lot of the shit that happens in NBA and NFL already. People need to start listening to us. I really think that the possibilities are there, and you got to get on mute. So just FYI, you're gonna say something.
No, I was right about Daniel Jones.
You were. I got right 1 year. I got right. I made the play.
Rudy, speaking of Cam Johnson, to see Sif talking about that, I saw the Spurs were, and I don't know if this is a reliable source, but apparently Spurs tried a potential Cam Johnson.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Well, would that have scratched your itch if that was no?
So the guy I really want is Jakob. That's who I really want 100% here in San Antonio. Move Victor to the 4, Jakob at the 5. That, and I think Toronto only wants like a first round pick for him. So you got plenty of them. Just give up a first round pick. Bring Jakob back. That makes life so much easier for San Antonio. So much easier. That Wemby and Jakob combo would be dominant for years to come. Sith is in here. Fire snippet. Can't wait to download the track. We'll play it again at the end of the show here. Fox and Wemby collab. We've got here on STL Music, dropped by STL Music and SOTB Music, another collab that we've done together. We'll drop it again for all you Spurs fans out there at the end of the show, and you can go download it when it's available here on Spotify or YouTube Music, wherever music is available. You can get it here. Darth, damn, looks like Rudy's opened up his own club. Rudy's Booty Shaking Shack 24-hour party. That's a pretty good t-shirt. I'll probably put that on a t-shirt. Appreciate that. Gio, you crazy boy. LeBron's a good player. He can be the Spurs water boy.
No, come on. Listen, I'm no LeBron lover, never claimed to be. I think Michael Jordan's a GOAT, but I still think LeBron is still a good player. Rudy, how about this? Instead of the king, we go to another player that's been around the league for a while, and a man named Kevin Durant.
I cannot find anything wrong. And I thought about it. I thought long and hard. I can't find anything wrong with Kevin Durant as a Spur. I really don't. The guy can play defense, can score it well, would have a field day playing next to Wemby. And you know what? They probably wouldn't have to give up a whole lot, to be honest with you. I think that would make a whole lot of sense.
That, I like LeBron a lot, but the efficiency on the offensive end, I mean, Rudy's averaging, 26, 27 points a game this season. And Durant's, he's 36, and he's still putting up some pretty good numbers. I wouldn't run a 2-year run of Kevin Durant, who could still put up buckets. If they found a way to get Kevin in there, and even him on LeBron would be big. But, man, I think the world of Kevin and his offensive ability, that would be – imagine Wemby and Kevin in the same lineup. You just throwing it at Kevin shooting threes. Jeez.
Okay, so before I go to the reaction from Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson on De'Aaron Fox being a Spur, we'll get into more of that here. We're going to see where do they land in the West now, because I think that's the biggest question. Do we have questions now that Fox is here? Do we have concerns? We'll get into that here at the last part of the show. But do you think they have one more move in there? Do you think they have their eyes set on another star? Or is it technically just Cam Johnson? Because Cam Johnson, to me, okay, good, but is he moved the needle to the best team in the West good? No, really isn't.
No, I mean, if Kevin came this year, okay, you could have something. But like you said, Cam, and he's still a good player. Don't get me wrong, but not going to move the needle as if a Kevin Durant or even LeBron came in.
Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson's reaction to De'Aaron Fox, the newest Spur.
De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio. What are your thoughts on that?
I love it, man. I mean, this is a better version of Tony Parker. Tony Parker, but he's just left-handed. Tony Parker he might be faster than Tony Parker. He's able to.
That's tough to say because Tony Parker was fast as shit, but De'Aaron is different.
Yeah, De'Aaron is different. Tony was the fastest in the league, but De'Aaron is different, and he's a better scorer and he's a better athlete. So to pair him up with Wemby, along with Castle and have the possibility to get another star like Jimmy Butler, man, I think that was the best move. That was the best move made, besides the other moves in Dallas.
I think this is big too because I got a good 3-year run of watching De'Aaron Fox every night, and this kid can really, really play. He plays defense too. He's in passing lanes, but also he was the clutch scorer of the year. I think 2 seasons ago he's always in top 5 in clutch scoring, and I think that's something this team needs. Obviously, with CP3 being a little bit older, Castle being young, Wemby still in his greatness but developing. Fox is someone that can kind of settle them in the fourth quarter too. So while we're talking about San Antonio, shout out Pop. We're still praying for you.
Yep.
Hope you're back around the sidelines soon.
Yeah, so De'Aaron Fox, there's really no way. There's really nothing negative you can say about De'Aaron Fox to San Antonio.
No.
It's hard to find anything bad to say about it.
Listen, Rudy, and we talk about small markets on here sometimes. We talk about Sacramento. Listen, he did everything he could to get that team to the playoffs, and he did. Yeah. And they, what did they take? Who did they take the 7-game series, Rudy? Was it
Golden State?
I think so. I
think it was Golden State.
Yeah. So look, he can play. I've admired him over the years, Rudy. I don't always stay up for those 10:30 games, but he's phenomenal and he scores, and that's what the Spurs need right now. And he plays defense and get Pop back in here. We'll see how things go, and I'm really excited to see him put a Spurs uniform on.
So last I heard was that he's going to be available for tomorrow's game against Atlanta. So everybody's going to have their eyes on that game. De'Aaron Fox should be in uniform. Everything has cleared. The trade did go through. Was already signed off by the NBA. So everyone passed their physicals. De'Aaron Fox is a Spur. Should be playing tomorrow. This is Coach Joe, Rudy Campos Jr. We will play the Fox and Wemby collab from SOTB and STL Music. It'll be available wherever music is available. Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music, anywhere it's available. You can download the Fox and Wemby collab that we've got here. We'll play that again at the end of the show. Question, like we said, we can't really find anything wrong with De'Aaron Fox there. That traded, we knew it was going to happen damn near 8 months ago, but we were announcing it. We were talking about it. It was good then. It was great now. It's even better that they didn't give up anybody in the core. So that makes it even better. They didn't give up hardly any draft picks. In fact, they didn't give up any draft capital at all, if you think about it. I mean, there really was nothing. So we got Johnny here. Fox cannot play defense. He can play defense. I mean, he's not the all-American defender, but he can play defense.
I mean, listen, he's no Bruce Bowen, but
there's not very many guys that can kick you in the face, while you're attempting to jump.
But nobody's playing defense these days, Rudy. Yeah, we talk about Luka not playing defense. A lot of guys don't play defense.
Yeah, a lot of guys do not play defense at all, man. There's no way around that. But coming back to here, so with De'Aaron here now, we don't know. Both of us feel that there's probably one more move for the Spurs I think they're going to make. Trade deadline is Thursday. So again, Thursday is going to be our Super Bowl show, but we will cover some NBA trades that do happen. Biggest question, man. If you're looking at the standings and De'Aaron Fox is in there, you got to ask yourself, are they better than Memphis? Are they better than Oklahoma City? As they stand now with no other move, are they better than Denver, the Clippers, Minnesota? Where do the Spurs land in your opinion? Because I think for me, it's minimum play in, but flirting with playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Yeah, that's right now they're 21 and 26. I didn't love that game last night. But anyway, Rudy, I agree. They're definitely playing. I mean, I don't see Portland. The Pelicans are on life support, literally.
Yeah.
The Spurs are going to be in the mix, but look, Dallas, you think the world of Dallas, Rudy. So if Dallas gets up in there, and who's the team to fall? The Kings. You know, people talk about the Kings dying. I don't see that.
Neither do I. Levine to Sacramento it made a lot of sense, man.
Still a really good trade. I've seen people saying the Kings are done. No, this is a team that could make the playoffs. They're the 8th seed right now. You still got Sabonis. You got freaking Keegan, who I think is a really good player. They got guys there. So the Spurs, this is going to be tough, Rudy. This ain't going to be no cakewalk. You know, I know Spurs fans are on here, kumbaya. But you look at this, the Warriors, they're trying to make a deal somewhere, Rudy. Trying to get somebody.
If the Warriors don't make a deal, they're not in the play-in.
No.
They're a team that's going to be looking in from the outside in.
But if the Warriors get Kevin Durant, they have a good shot. So, look, I'm looking here. The Lakers are an interesting team who I think could fall depending on how this whole Luka thing fits. We've been kind of waiting for the legs to be cut under the Rockets, Rudy, but they keep winning.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're really going anywhere at 32 and 18. So right now the Spurs, they got to start winning games because if you keep losing games, Rudy, you're not going to do anything. So definitely playing. And I mean, they got to deal with the Suns, the Kings, the Mavs, which you think are going to move up particularly well. Spurs fans, don't be surprised if the Spurs don't make the playoffs. I just want to keep y'all very enlightened here. Don't be surprised because unlike the pathetic Eastern Conference, which I don't even want to talk about there at the end, this is going to be a slugfest, Rudy. It's going to be tough. So they need Fox to hit the ground running. To really make some moves. But yeah, playing for sure, Rudy, and playoffs, I hope. But right now they're 21 and 26. You know, they're like 5 games behind Dallas right now, who's 26 and 25.
And not even in the play-in spot.
Exactly.
They are the 11th seed Dallas, and they're above 500. And I'm glad you brought that up because as you know, we love the Spurs. We love everything. You know, we've been Spurs fans first, and now we cover Spurs and everything like that. But the good thing about us is we keep it real. And we don't sugarcoat shit here on Sweep the League. We never have. Derek Gervin doesn't. We don't either. And that's why we say pump the brakes. De'Aaron Fox, boom, masterful. I mean, the addition you needed to have that pairing for years to come. You needed that point guard. You got it. But did it move the needle all the way to guarantee playoff spot? Not yet. It really has. Now, they need another move. They get another move in there. Cam Johnson, does it move them in the playoff spot? You think Cam Johnson throws him into the playoffs?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
Possible. I mean, Rudy, he's averaging 20 a game. So look, realistically, 20 a game with Fox is 25, 26 a game. You know, obviously they may dip down before they go up, just getting used to team-wise, potentially, Rudy, but I just don't think it turns in. You know, Steven Jackson said something interesting. He said Jimmy Butler. I'm not a big Jimmy Butler to Spurs fan.
No, neither am I.
I think he's a baller. He in the postseason, he's done a lot of great things, but I just don't think right now. But if they can make If they can get, I don't know, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, sure. But right now, Spurs fans, just go with the flow, right? Don't expect playoffs because, as I just said, there's some still good teams left. This is in the Eastern Conference, so pump the brakes.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here because maybe if we put it into a different perspective, then maybe we can kind of pull Spurs down just a little bit. Spurs fans, just a little bit. But take De'Aaron Fox out of the picture. Did he have the better team in Sacramento or does he have the better team in San Antonio overall? Now remember, San Antonio is known for what? Wemby. Dominant big man. Sacramento's got Sabonis, who's one of the best big men in the league. So
he does everything. That
he
man
does everything.
Literally, when you're betting and you put Sabonis, the man does literally everything.
Exactly. So again, if you take them off, who's the better team? If you take De'Aaron off both teams, who's the better team?
I'll give the edge to Sacramento, Rudy. And it's tough because obviously Spurs have Wemby. I mean, listen, he's the unicorn. But I think if you break it down, who's playing better right now, I would go with the Kings.
So, John, appreciate you in here. I think we have more versatility than the Kings. I mean, break it down. Who's a better player, DeMar DeRozan or Devin Vassell? Probably DeMar on a scoring side. He's more consistent. You know, you have Malik Monk at a shooting guard. You have Stephon Castle. We see the potential in Stephon Castle. But I mean, I kind of call it even. I really do on that. Both are good defenders. Sabonis and Wemby's better.
Yeah, no, but
Wemby's
I mean,
better.
Sabonis is no slouch. Also, Malik is almost averaging almost 20 a game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. And then if you go power forward, Keegan Murray, Jeremy Sohan. I mean, Murray's the better shooter. Obviously, he's going to give you more.
So Murray also jacks up a lot of shots, but yeah.
but on paper, if you look at it on paper, it's like, okay, it's Wemby against a team of Sabonis, DeRozan, Malik Monk, who's at right around 20 a game. I mean, that's why I want to pull Spurs fans back just a little bit. I'm not saying they're bad.
No.
They're going to improve, but that's how loaded the West is, man. You and I talk about it a lot. Oklahoma City, loaded. I mean, 39 wins already. They don't have a big man, and they're still winning. Memphis, you see how Memphis is one of the most balanced teams right now on the starting five.
Hey, I remember I talked about Zach Edey in the pre-draft show, Rudy, and I said, man, why no love? And it's probably because I live in Indiana, and obviously I'm not too far from West Lafayette and Purdue. And I said, Zach Edey didn't get no love. I mean, this guy can play, and Rudy, he's played as well as probably what people thought he would play this season.
I didn't expect him to play that well. I really didn't. I'm one guy that didn't either. I had Zach Edey a late first round pick.
So yeah, Spurs fans, I'm going with the Kings. That team has been together. I mean, it's just something watching the Spurs sometimes, Rudy, and seeing that. I feel like Devin should be. I think he should be playing better.
He should be coming off the bench. I hate to say that because you pay him so much, but I think he's one of the 6 guys.
Yeah.
Him and Keldon off the pine would be really good. One of the big things that I can think those two teams have is chemistry. That's right. I mean, it's a chemistry factor. Yeah. So, real quick before we go, man, Oklahoma City, Memphis, Houston's on a 4-game losing streak. So maybe this is where you mentioned maybe the legs got cut off of them already. Maybe they'll come back down to earth. There's still 14 games over 500, so it's going to take a little while before they do. The Nuggets, Jokic, Russell Westbrook is just playing out of his mind now. He's playing basketball.
Well, Rudy, he's accepting his role. That's what we talk about. The 80s, the 90s, and as well as the 2000s. What is your role? If you're a role player, you a lot of those guys understood their role.
Mhm.
Westbrook is understanding his role, and he's found a home. I never thought he would find a home in Denver. He's playing phenomenal this year.
He is. So Denver's another scary team. The Lakers, I think that's the bad team. That's where they start coming down. I don't expect it to happen between Luka and LeBron. The Clippers, talk about Norman Powell averaging 20 plus.
Dude, Norman Powell has. I don't know how that team was really with no Kawhi, Rudy. They shipped Paul George. James Harden has been another guy who's
Much
understanding.
love. Yeah,
he's playing his role, and he's had a lot of scrutiny in the playoffs, and rightly deserved. But the Clippers are another team, Rudy, that kind of not necessarily remind me of the Rockets, but it's like, is this gonna like chopped up eventually? Like,
not if Kawhi's back for good. I mean, so let's be real. The Clippers are going to be better than the Lakers. They'll move up on the standings a little bit. So I think if Kawhi and Harden, especially Kawhi, stays healthy, I think that little group is going to stick around in the minimum play-in. Dartha is in here. You guys need to think about the odd fact, which is no NBA player 7'4" and taller have ever had a career over 8 years with a minimum of 3 years. I mean, we're only in year 2 of Wemby, so we'll see how far it goes for him. John's in here. The Clippers are scary in the series. Yeah, I mean, they're another team to think about. So underneath that, Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert. I don't buy the whole, Julius Randle thing. I think they're kind of going to come down to earth a little bit. So they could be playing bound. I don't know. Sacramento, we just talked about that. They didn't get bad.
Yeah,
they still stayed competitive with Zach LaVine. So they lost Zach LaVine, big deal. I mean they lost De'Aaron Fox. They still going to be competitive. Phoenix, if they land Jimmy and Bradley Beal decides, okay, I will go, which he hasn't said, I think Phoenix is still there with Devin Booker. They need a point guard. Maybe they can get a point guard somewhere in here. Then you have Golden State, who I think, unless Golden State makes a move, there's no way that they're going to stay in the play-in.
Just stop it, Golden State. Just go away. They're starting to remind me of the freaking Astros. Just go away already, man. Nobody wants to see you. Just stop.
But then you have Dallas. Dallas is another team that's going to be, they're 5 games up on the Spurs. At least minimum, 4.5 up.
That's what I'm saying.
Dallas
could get hot, and Anthony Davis to me is a plug and play, Rudy. I think you can just plug him in, and he's going to do his thing.
So, we kind of broke it down, and again, we're not shitting on what San Antonio did. It makes sense. I'm glad they got it. It's exciting, but it doesn't mean they're going to shoot up the standings, because there's so many teams in the West that are loaded right now that it's still difficult. You've got to make another move somewhere in there, man. I think you and I are maybe raining on the parade, but all we're doing is just putting things into perspective.
Dude, just be realistic. And I'm tired of some of these, not just Spurs fans, but in general fans, they just get cloudy and their judgment, right? They're saying this and that. Listen, just be realistic. And that's what we are here at Sweep the League. We're just being realistic,
Yeah.
When Rudy talks about Daniel Jones, I call him out on it. He said he'd rather have him over Kyler Murray, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous.
You were scared for a little while there. Give me a break. You were scared for a little while.
His best season was like 20 touchdowns and like 15. It was just absolutely terrible. But anyway, the Spurs fans, look, they have a good opportunity here to make a little small run, but it's going to be really tough.
No, and you know what? If they win a title, the good thing about us at Sweep the League is that we have a crap load of people in here now, and I love it. We're over 200 plus on the live stream. Appreciate everybody joining us here. If you haven't heard us before, we are Sweep the League. We come to you at least right now Tuesday through Friday at 9 p.m. So be sure to join us. All you got to do is go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything out. Sweep Unplugged, STL 316 is our wrestling podcast. Grading the Markets, our sports card and collectible show. We got a tons of stuff here. So, but like John said, this move won't win us a championship alone, but hopefully it gets us to the playoffs for some experience under our belt. Then we will see what we can do in the draft and fix our roster. If they go win the title this year, all of us will be, you know what? We were wrong. We were wrong. We admit when we're wrong.
Rudy, the Spurs are not winning the championship.
I'm going to say probably not. Probably not this year.
If Spurs fans, if people have been telling you that, please run away from that person. I don't know who would ever spill that out, but if someone tells you the Spurs can win a championship, just run because that's not your friend.
Not yet. Not yet.
No,
Not
yet. Not yet. This is a team that's only going to get better. I will say if they find a way to get Kevin Durant, because apparently the Suns, from what I heard, could be open to trading Kevin, but
they are.
I mean, that's why the Warriors are very interested in Durant, even though it's going to be a few years. But
yeah, they are. Well, honestly, if I'm anybody, I'm not dealing with the Warriors. Who are you going to send back? I mean, you're going to send back Pajinski, and Kuminga is probably the only guy I would want to go after, but I haven't been sold enough on Kuminga to give up anybody. So I don't know, man. Needless to say, you know what, Spurs fans, just relax a little bit. Give a little time. Before we go, Gio, I got to ask you this. Would you be surprised if they don't make the play-in?
No. I mean, right now, Dallas, as it stands, the Spurs are the odd team looking out already. And if Dallas goes on a run, the Rockets keep winning, and let's say the Lakers kind of break even, and Sacramento is still a really good team, or not a really good team, but a good team. I just don't see when the Spurs get into the playoffs because as it stands, you need Fox to get acclimated to the offense, Rudy, unless you're just going to have him just running shotgun and he's doing whatever he wants. But Rudy, it's going to take time, and by the time it takes time, we might be like 7 or 8 games out. And by that, it's like, well, the whole Fox is terrible, this and that. I don't want to hear any of that because it's got nothing to do with him. It's just this team is just, for whatever reason, as we talked about, Devin, I just really should be a bench player right now. I just don't see it.
No, we're not going to disagree.
But Fox should be able to make other guys around him better. So we'll see.
Yeah, I do agree with that. The Spurs will be better with De'Aaron Fox. How good starts tomorrow against Atlanta. We'll see how this team looks on the court together for the first time. De'Aaron Fox joining the San Antonio Spurs. Supposedly right now, he's supposed to be playing tomorrow as of right now. We'll find out more tomorrow. But until then, guys, you know what? It's for Coach Joe. Derek Gerben should be back hopefully tomorrow. If not, we'll get him back sometime soon. He's on a little break right now because he's going to different high school basketball games, doing some recruiting, I think. So we'll get with him, Derek, as soon as he gets done. But you'll have myself, you'll have Coach Gio tomorrow and Thursday. Thursday's our Super Bowl show. So we'll give you all the preview on Super Bowl on Thursday. Then Friday is our fun Friday. We'll see what we do on Friday. We'll see if we can take it back old school on Friday for you all NBA guys. Before we go, John's in here. Go Spurs, go. Definitely go Spurs, go. We're fans at heart here. But again, we love to keep it honest with you guys 100% here. So for Coach Gio, it's Rudy Campos Jr., head to our YouTube page. And all you got to do is search Sweep the League TV. Hit that subscribe button. Appreciate everybody joining us here. For the coach, it's Rudy Campos Jr. Until we sweep the league again, we'll see you later, knuckleheads.
Time to react, yeah, shift like a skate. Left, right, lean, it's a bucket in sight. Pull up mid, let it fly, no hype. Fourth quarter ice, keep the rock in my grip. When the clock go red, don't slip, I rip. Fast is allowed, yeah, the motor don't quit. Drop 30 quick, now they begging for a switch. Fox in the open, the lane look free, now allow that up. Wimby, and running no team, keep pace. Fox got gears, Wemby got grace. Hoop too high, man, you won't touch. New Spurs every year, time to rush. Speed too real, yeah, check that tight. Defenders froze, now they stuck in place. Who gon' step, man, don't play dumb. Fast break done, that's vision on the court, watch my plays take action. Fast break, hustle, yeah, I'm built to compete. Defense locked in, I'm the soul of the street. Court vision crazy, I'm ballin' in the zone. Step back, jumper, yeah, I'm cold like stone. 2025 moves my game, got finesse. Leave it all on the floor, you know I'm the best.